I don't really live in a city, you know. I live in Nashville, but I'm not in the city. And the hotel was 4 blocks away. And when you don't live in a city, you don't know what that means, really. You know what I mean? I've been to a city, but they're like, oh, it's only 4 blocks. I'm like, oh, only 4 blocks, no problem. I don't even know what that is, you know. I cross several streets. There's a lot of hookah out there. I didn't know San Diego had so much hookah. It's all over the streets out there. The lady was eating pizza and hookah at the same time. I had never seen that before. She was alone with pizza and hookah. It's pretty wild. There's a lot of homeless people out there. Not as many as I've seen in some places. They're pretty friendly. I had a homeless guy. He was holding his belt, and he goes, "You want me to whoop your ass?" And I said no. And that really made him mad. I don't know if people had not spoke to him today or not, but I appreciate him asking me. I've been to cities where they don't ask you. They just try to fight you. Cleveland's pretty aggressive like that. But this guy asked. I let him know I'm not looking to fight or to be beat up. He had his belt. He followed me for a while. I jaywalked just to get away from him. Weirdly, he obeyed. Even he was like, "We don't do that around here. We don't do that." I don't know. It was wild. It was a wild time. I've not experienced that. I went to San Diego to the American Comedy Company. And it was a great time. I'd never been to San Diego before. And I gotta tell you, I thought it was a great time. I love that city. I've always heard that San Diego is like the best city in the country. People used to say that all the time. Wildlife or a fly. They won't. You ever sit down and a fly keeps landing on you and you keep swatting it away? What's going on in that fly's head? He knows you don't want him to be there. He's like, nah, maybe it was just that spot. And if I land on a different spot, he would. I don't know why he wouldn't want me around. He's here to clean up the old stuff that he doesn't want. Okay. We're having a good time. That's true. I got pre-check, so I don't have to go through the radiation machine. But I get a lot of random checks. They always want to randomly check me. So I just started telling them I like getting patted down. They're like, go through the radiation machine. I'm like, nah, you better get somebody to pat me down. That's my favorite part. This is why I come to the airport. Get a free rub down. You know what I mean? They're always like, we gotta go in this area. I'm like, just do it. They're like, no, we gotta tell you. And I'm like, well, you gotta tell me, but then you're gonna do it. So just do it. Just do it. Just get in there. Check good now. Got a weapon in there. We're having a good time. Okay. And they said the weather was perfect. But then when I landed, I started talking to this guy who was driving me, and he was like, well, it used to be perfect, but lately it's been getting humid. So I don't know how that happens. But San Diego was a great time.
The American Comedy Company was really great. I'd never been there before. It's a club in a basement. The staff was great. The shows were great. My friend Alec Parent featured for me. All right. And we went around the city a bit. We hung out outside. Well, the weather was perfect the entire time I was there. We went out to Pacific Beach. Okay. La Jolla. Which was really great. I didn't get to really spend time out there. I didn't bring any swimming trunks. I never think about those things. I just had jeans. I was the only person out there walking around in loafers and jeans, looking like a real redneck out there. No. Okay, we're here at the beach, San Diego, looking out at the ocean, the flat ocean, and whatever, you know what I mean? And we're taking it in, and it's a lot of fun. There's a pier here where it also appears to be a lot of houses on the pier, which I have not seen before. There is a real housing crisis out here, and now they're building on the piers. And that guy is... But we went out on a pier that had, apartments that you could rent out on the pier, which I thought was really awesome. I had not seen that before. Been on a lot of piers, and I had not seen that. Pier, but just little houses like this. Several little houses out on the land.
An interesting room here. There's not normally tables like where I feel like people are like right on the stage with me. I mean, we are up in here. It's almost like we never had a pandemic. You remember that? Like, let's do it, man. College football's back. Let's get into it. I don't mind. I live in Tennessee. We never really celebrated. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying. I have a kid now, and I have a baby. I have a 4-month-old baby. Thank you. And I live on Central Time. Last night, at this time, I was asleep. And now I've flown all the way across the country. My granddad was born in 1900. He used to ride a horse and buggy. The amount of time it took him to get to town, it took me to fly across the country today. I think that's amazing. I appreciate that. Don't laugh. It's not a full joke, but I appreciate it. We're having a good time, though.
Seen a lot of homeless people. A lot of homeless people out there. Crazy kind of homeless people. I don't like to call people crazy. A homeless lady asked me what time it was one time, which I thought was a weird question because I thought that was the main advantage of being homeless is that you don't need to know what time it is. I would think that that is the one thing that you're like, yeah.
I think it would be fun to be homeless sometimes. I think about that. I think that might be a good time. You know, you don't have a lot to do. Like you wake up in the morning, you're like, what do I got to do today? Nothing. That's a good feeling. Like, what are the priorities? Well, I gotta find some food. Could, use a new pair of jeans. I might want to get this cut checked out. You ever try to give money to someone thinking they're homeless and they're not? That's embarrassing. In Tennessee one time I saw a guy laying down in a ditch and in the middle of the day So I stopped and tried to give him some money, and he was like, oh, no, he was real drunk. He was like, oh, no, you got mad at me for trying to give me money. And I was like, dude, you're laying in a ditch right now. Like, do you need anything? And he's like, no, I'm all right, man. Well, I don't know if that's true, but I'll let you be, you know what I mean? Okay, we're having a good time.
I did 5 shows in San Diego, a lot of fun. Then I flew to Seattle, Washington, and I stayed there for a night, and then I slept that night, and the next day Aaron Weber flew into Seattle, and we got a ride out to Puyallup, Washington, and we did comedy at the Washington State Fair. Daffy Duck or something. Do it. You gonna rock? That's good. That is good. That is good. I finally found the police force we've all been looking for. The fair police. Just fair and balanced policing. Puyallup is what it's called, but it's Puyallup. So it looks like it's like, pull y'all up. And I could not get around. I had to have somebody pronounce it for me because there's a y'all right in the middle, and I could not get around it. All I saw was YALL, and I could not get around that says y'all. I don't even say y'all a lot anymore. I used to say y'all all the time, and I didn't mean to never say y'all again. But when I was waiting tables, I remember just saying y'all so much. I'd be like, how y'all doing today? Welcome. Can I get y'all anything? What can I get y'all to drink? And I just said y'all. And I just noticed myself saying it so much that I thought, you know what? Let's try to work in some other words sometimes. And then in working in those other words, I just replaced y'all. I replace y'all with you guys. I'd be like, and I'm not trying to say you guys. I know that's like a northern thing, but I'd just be like, how you guys doing? Like I would make you guys as southern as possible. But then once in a while, weirdly, people would get offended. I had women go, we are not guys. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't even think about that I was calling you guys. I'm just like being like, hey, people, you know, it's like, hey, peeps, you know, and, so it's, but anyway, so I was in Puyallup, Washington, doing the Washington State Fair. Now, what the Washington State Fair was trying to do is, I think they normally will have comics that come in for the weekend, and it is, you know, a paid show. they were trying a new thing. The guy told me, he said, listen, we've never tried this before, but they brought me in on a Monday night, which is the only way I could have done it. It worked best for my schedule. I do clubs on the weekend. Clubs are what I like to do, and clubs occupy my whole weekend. But the fact that this was on a Monday is why I agreed to do it. And he said, this is a free show. We've never tried a free show on a Monday like this. And then I was in a big stadium, basically, a big arena. And it was their rodeo arena. And 2 days before my show, they had a rodeo. So they pulled all the grass out of there. It was just dirt. And then I was... Okay, so apparently I'm about to do comedy from that stage right there across this dirt field into these stands. It appears as though the first audience member will be an entire field away from me. This is going to be a hot show. And typically, I think what they would do was on that grass, they would have chairs, or at least people could bring out blankets and sit down. But this was just dirt, just total dirt. So it's a stage, a big stage with jumbotrons, a very nice setup, booming speakers, and then 50 yards of dirt, and then big stands. So I have 50 yards in between me and the closest customer. Now, there was a good amount of people there, but I want to say you could sit like 6,000 people out there. Okay? Now, I feel very good about my place in the world as a comedian. I work every weekend. I have several late nights. I have a Netflix that's coming out hopefully in October. I feel very good about where I'm at with comedy. But I am not playing 6,000 seat arenas. That's not where I'm at right now, okay? When I do the Opry and they sell out, it's about 4,400 people. When I opened for Alabama, it was about 6,000 people. But that was a crowd of people there to see Alabama. I can do it if they show up. I can make them laugh. But in Puyallup, Washington, I'm not a huge draw. I don't have 6,000 people in Puyallup that are dying to see me. Now, there's an argument to be made whether they should be, but they're not currently.
Here, I guess. You know? So I don't know if I'm sound checking or not. I'm just kind of standing here. I know these are working, but hard to tell if any of the others are working. But, bit of a small crowd out there. At least they have vests on, though. I can see it. We got a bit of an echo, but sounds smooth, sounds great. You need more in the wedges? I don't know what those, is this the wedge? Yep. I don't think I need more. I think that's pretty, as long as if I talk like this, they can still hear me really good? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I want to be able to do, because I want to just...
So I did have a good number of people come out, and I appreciated them, and we had a lot of fun. But as I said, there's 50 yards in between me and the closest seats.
How are you? I'd like to introduce you to the first part of our entertainment tonight, and all the hospitality you have. I've got a nice man to make you one of them, Mr. Aaron Weber, joining us on stage right over here. Have a good night. How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone okay?
So Aaron goes out and does 30 minutes and draws a small number of people from the stands to come and stand right by the stage.
They don't. That's what I found out. It's hard to get good at the xylophone. You know, it's hard to care enough. Who inspires you as a xylophonist? Who are the greats? Who are the legends of the xylophone? There's only one dude in the whole world anybody knows, and it's this guy.
And then he did it. He did a great job. And then I go out to do an hour. He does 20 minutes, and I'm doing an hour. And as I come out, even more people will come down from the stands and stand around me, but still a small number of people. I would say there was about 50 people around the stage, and I don't know, 100 in the stands.
But I'm gonna pull y'all up. Remember that? If you're filming this, don't put this on YouTube.
But now the sun's gone down, and so I can't see the stands at all, and then I got a crowd right in front of me. So it's very difficult to entertain people in the stands when there's 50 yards in between one audience and the next. So I feel like it's just my obligation to entertain the people that are right in front of me.
He's trying to get you home. This has changed me. A lot of people don't know that technique because they haven't seen me on their own.
So I probably did 20 minutes of jokes and 40 minutes of crowd work.
Okay. I stayed at a casino hotel one time. Yes, another hotel joke. And they had a sign in the room that had a list of everything you could steal and how much it cost. That way if you want to steal something.
And I had a blast. It was one of my favorite shows I've done in a long time. It was just a weird show, and I had a blast.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you coming out. Great time. I really thought this was going to be a
And afterwards, I took a selfie with the audience. If I do post this video, I'll share the pictures of this